Hey everybody, my name's Halie, and the long story short is that I'm an author who basically has achieved my dream job after years and years and years of hard work, where on the weekdays I just go out to schools and I hang out with kids and I get them excited about reading and writing, and then on the weekends I'm out at a Comic-Con or some sort of show or event all over the country making appearances and signing books, and it is absolutely the life I've always envisioned and I love what I do. Now, of course, this is not going to come as a surprise to anybody that way of life was absolutely crushed in March of this year, starting with the cancellation of my beloved Emerald City Comic-Con, which then, of course, was followed by a string of more cancellations from every school I was supposed to visit, every event I was supposed to be appearing at, and the result was really pretty crushing. I went from being on top of the world, living my dream life and impacting lives everywhere, to sitting at home in my pajamas. And I wanted to make this video for my fellow creatives and my fellow entertainers because I think that you're probably going to have similar experiences where people meant well and they came to us and said, oh wow, it must be so nice to have this time off, enjoy it while you can. Or my personal favorite was the people who would come up and say, oh man, you must have so much time to write now, lucky you. But I'm going to let you in on a small secret here, which is that I wasn't writing anything at all. And from what I've heard from talking to a lot of other creatives, it sounds to me like we're all pretty much in the same boat. As 2020 went on and got worse and worse, nobody was feeling particularly creative. And you know, the world's still not back to normal, but I finally feel like I'm getting back into the habit of feeling like myself and getting my creative work done again, and I wanted to share with you how I got there. And I, of course, like to break things down into steps. So the first of the 3 steps that I'm going to give you for how to get that creativity back is just to give yourself a break and acknowledge that what you're feeling is grief. You're grieving the loss of the life that you had and the normal that you once had. It's gone, and it's okay to give yourself a little bit of time to mourn the loss of it. But there's a difference between giving yourself a break and falling into a rut, which we definitely don't want to happen. So when you are ready, when you've had time to process and it's time to come back to being creative again, the thing that you need to address most of all is your why. Don't look at what's gone. Ask yourself why you loved it. Why is it that you did your art form? Is for me, I know that I loved sharing my stories with people. I loved impacting their lives through words. But more than that, I loved inspiring them to do it themselves. That was my why. And that was why I couldn't sit down and write, was because the why was gone. I could make the stories, but I couldn't go out and meet people and share it with them. So revisit your why and then use that to determine your way forward. And then the most important step of all is to make a deliberate decision to pursue your creativity again. And I say that because we can't just wait for inspiration to walk up and introduce itself, especially not during hardship. You have to decide that you want to be creative again. And then the way that you do it is you go revisit that why. So for me, because I missed my connections and I missed my people and sharing my works in person, my why wasn't that I needed to keep writing, it was that I needed that connection again. And so I sat down and brainstormed what I could do to re-find that, and then what I came up with was, of course, YouTube channel, helping other writers. And so, you know what? The minute that I came up with that and I decided that was something I was going to do, I got excited again. I got so passionate about researching cameras and lighting equipment and topics that people wanted to hear about, researching how YouTube works. And you know, it wasn't the creativity that I had to begin with, but that has come back as well, because then I decided the way I was going to reach people was by making a free 60-day novel writing challenge, because everybody's stuck inside. Everybody is undergoing this COVID drama right now, and especially with the weather getting colder, people should be writing books. So that was what I came up with, was a free 60-day novel writing challenge. And the minute I did that, I got all of my excitement back, my creativity came back, and I've actually been able to write a book. Just as I was preparing for making the course, I wrote a whole nother book just so I could figure out how I could do this course. So that is how I got my creativity back. I know it's going to be different for everybody, and we are all in this together. And so I just want to say, from my heart to yours, I really wish all of my fellow creatives and all of my fellow artists the best. I hope that you guys are able to get back on your feet the way that I have, re-find your why and re-find your creativity. And side note, If you happen to be a writer and you want to come take my free 60-day novel writing challenge, it's going to be super fun and I would totally love to see you there. We're starting October 1st and then going through November 30th in this glorious year of 2020. But you can join it at any time. There's no time limit on it. It's on YouTube. It's free. It's just motivation for you to write a book and really find your creativity if you're struggling. I'm Halie. Thanks for listening and come check out my new channel on YouTube.